If you want to know whether it's necessary to have a free float handguard on your AR-15 rifle to have an accurate rifle, this video is for you. So let's get started. I'm Andy and welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing whether you need to have a free float handguard on your AR-15 rifle in order to get an accurate AR-15 rifle. If you are purchasing an AR-15 for the first time, you may have been told that if you get a free float handguard on your rifle, it will inherently be more accurate than a traditional rifle without a free float handguard. Now, there may be other reasons to get a free float handguard, but in and of itself, it's not going to be an accuracy decision. Now, there are several things you can do beyond free floating your handguard to improve the accuracy of the rifle. We're not going to get into that. Maybe I'll get into that in another video, but there's just so many factors that go involved with that. It wouldn't be possible to discuss that today. With regard to the handguards, what we're going to discuss is we're going to discuss barrel harmonics, barrel deflection, and then in this video I'm going to get out to the range and we're going to actually shoot some groups to show you what I have found out with regard to non-free float handguards in an AR-15 and getting an accurate rifle. All right, before we get into the barrel harmonics of the AR-15 specific to that rifle, let's just generally talk about barrel harmonics with either a hunting rifle or a precision rifle. When we're talking about barrel harmonics, what we're talking about is after the trigger is pulled, there's obviously an explosion from the cartridge. That explosion within milliseconds creates vibration from the receiver here and the barrel all the way down to the end of the barrel, to the crown of the barrel, and it's running back and forth. And what we want to do with our barrel harmonics is get a consistent vibration pattern throughout the barrel. Consistent harmonics is going to improve our chances of getting a more accurate rifle. If you think about it, it's just like a basketball player that shoots free throws. The more consistent he can be at shooting that free throw, doing the same form over and over with the same touch on the ball, the more consistent he is going to make the basket. So a poor free throw shooter will change their position each time, and a good free throw shooter will have that consistent pattern. So what we want to do with regard to our hunting rifle or our precision rifle is get that same consistent pattern in our barrel harmonics or our vibration going down the rifle. One way to do that is to do what we call free float the barrel, which means the only place the barrel touches on the rifle is right here on the receiver and nowhere else on the barrel anywhere down the barrel. If I were to touch here on the barrel with this stock or touch here on the barrel, it could throw our consistency off from shot to shot. So one way we look at that with regard to a hunting rifle is we can take our dollar bill and run it down the rifle, and we can see that the barrel does not touch the rifle anywhere on the forend of the rifle. Now, that is going to be completely different with regard to an AR-15 rifle. This is a rifle that is not free-floated. We can see that the front post here where the sight housing is clamped to the barrel of the rifle. And the plate right here that holds our grip, our forend, is also touching the barrel of the rifle. And this is the gas tube that goes back in to cycle the action. So in an AR-15, we have to touch the barrel in order to cycle the action of the rifle. There's no getting around it. So it is impossible to actually free float an AR-15 barrel if you want a semi-automatic rifle. You can do it if you want a bolt action rifle, but not with a semi-automatic rifle. So even in our example here of our free float handguard, while the handguard itself does not touch the rifle anywhere, or the barrel, anywhere except here by the receiver, there is still a gas block inside the rifle so that we can cycle our action. If you do some deeper research, you'll find out from the Army Marksmanship Unit, specifically Joe Carlos has a video on YouTube where he indicates he was the coach of the team. In their rifles, they would actually drill and tap a hole into their handguard and touch a screw to various points of the barrel as it goes down the handguard. And in doing so, he would put a screw here, go out and shoot a group, see what the group looked like. Take the screw out, put it here, touch the barrel, see what the groups look like. So they were actually able to improve some of their accuracy by touching the barrel at different points. There's just way more to accuracy in an AR-15 than a free float handguard. Now, one of the things that can affect the accuracy is the barrel deflection, which we'll talk about next. All right, let's talk about barrel deflection, which is something that can affect our accuracy potential on our AR-15 rifle. If we have our traditional stock rifle, and I've attached the bottom of the handguard, we can see that it attaches right here on this plate and at the receiver end. So when we're talking about barrel deflection, what we're actually talking about is putting enough pressure on the barrel to actually move the barrel within the action. So one way you could do that is if you were to use a sling in your shooting and you strap the sling up and the sling is going to be attached here. It's attached to the front post, which is attached to the barrel. And if you put enough pressure on that sling, you can move the barrel, which is what we call deflection. So it would depend on the contour of your barrel. If you have a skinny barrel, it's going to be easier to deflect than a heavy barrel like this. However, in typical shooting with an AR-15, if you're standing and shooting without a sling on and really cranked, you are not going to put enough pressure on this barrel at this point to deflect the barrel in any meaningful way to affect the accuracy. Likewise, if you're shooting off a bench, shooting off a rest, a sandbag, or something, you're simply not going to put enough pressure on your handguard to deflect the barrel. Now, if you're using, like I said, a sling, you could pull the sling and you could pull the barrel enough. If you have a bipod on the front of your barrel and you rest that or on the front of your barrel or on the front of your handguard and you rest that on the ground and you preload the bipod, you could theoretically put enough pressure on that bipod to get an upward pressure and cause a shift or cause your barrel to deflect. But outside of those two areas of shooting, you're simply not going to put enough deflection onto the barrel. So why don't we take one of our rifles? I'll go shoot off some sandbags and we will see if we can get some accurate groups at 100 yards to prove that we won't be deflecting the barrel in any way and we won't be causing any type of bad harmonic situation that would cause the rifle to shoot poorly. And we'll come back here and we'll take a look at the groups. We are back from the range, and the first group you're looking at is, of course, the group that I forgot to turn the camera on for. However, you can see that it is a 1-inch group, which is very good accuracy out of this AR-15 rifle. Now, because one group doesn't determine how accurate your rifle is, the second group you're looking at on camera is also a group that I shot in another video, and as you can see, it measures 0.893 inches, which is just a hair under an inch. This is also very good accuracy for this rifle and was shot on a different day. The last group that you are looking at is, of course, the group that we caught on camera today. And once again, you can see that we shot a 1-inch group from this rifle. As you can see, we got very good accuracy from this rifle, even without a free float handguard. You don't necessarily need to buy an AR-15 with a free float handguard to get an accurate rifle. For more videos on the AR-15, including long-range shooting, please check out my channel. God bless and guide America. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.